Howdy out there, how you doing? Well, I got a little short video here I want to make. I'm using the Fuji JX370, but I got the resolution set at 640 by 480 because it's just going to be a little short video, and anyways the file size is humongous. File size for a 2-minute and 17-second file coming right out of this camera AVI is 588 megabytes, and when it's in HD. So we're going to stay with the 640 by 480 for the present time on most of the videos that I'm going to be doing, only because the file size is humongous, and unless I run it through my editing program and you know, reduce the file size, which defeats the purpose of having HD in the beginning. Whereas if I use the 640 by 480, it's going to be about the same as my Samsung SL105, and I don't have to convert it to a real small file. I can use the DIVX or whatever you call it, which is an AVI file too, and that's what I mostly do, and that comes out pretty good. But anyways, that's not the subject of this particular video. And if you look back on some of my earlier videos, you will find it was made, I believe, in November of 2010, replacing the friction wheel on my MTD 15-year-old snowblower. Well, I'm going to show you by way of photograph what happened. After I replaced the friction wheel on that MTD 15-year-old snowblower, and I did a little quick run of it, you've seen how well it worked, going up and down the ramp and zipping around the yard just a little bit. You look back on the video, you'll see it worked quite well. Well, we got some snow, which was several weeks later. As a matter of fact, we got snow Saturday, this past Saturday. So I got to really test it out. Before that, it was sitting in the shed and I didn't get to use it. Well, boy, what a shock I got. I had no number 1 reverse, very slow number 2 reverse, no number 1 forward speed. Number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 worked okay. I says, what the hell is going on with this thing? I just replaced the thing and I did everything perfectly. Followed all instructions. I opened up the belly pan. After the snow, next day, after things got cleaned up, I tipped the snowblower up in the shed and took the belly pan off, and man, did I get a shock. I'm going to show you what happened. As you can see, the rubber tire, the friction tire, literally came right off of the metal wheel, which was sandwiched together as I showed you in the video, and I followed all instructions on the book perfectly, right to the letter, and the screws did not come loose. How that thing came off, I don't know, but I can say that the platter had grooves in it, hills and valleys, but not real bad, and that's the only thing I can think of. Somehow it came off. I've never heard of one coming off like that, and you know what? I inspected that rubber and it's in perfect shape. It didn't get chewed up or anything. It just came off, and it was just laying there as the picture shows, and it was running metal to metal. And the wheel, of course, where the rubber was on, is steel, and the platter is aluminum, and I had aluminum powder all over the damn place. So it literally ruined the platter. Well, I had to go out and buy another snowblower. I had to go in debt and buy another snowblower. I couldn't afford it, but it was $5.99, and I got a 3-year extended warranty on it. I'm not messing around with anything major like this. I'll let the pros fix them, because that's my luck. The same way with carburetor work. I didn't bother doing the carburetor in that old snowblower either, because my luck, I would have screwed that up too. So, to each his own trade. So, I'm going to show you the new snowblower now. It's also an MTD. It's a yard machine. If you can see it, I'll put a light on here. It's a nice one. It's 26 inch. The old one was a 24 inch. It doesn't tell you what the gas capacity is, so I had a gallon of gas I poured in and it flooded right over the top, and I had to run it with the cap off for a while because gas was running all over because I overfilled the tank. But it only holds 2 quarts, so if you ever buy a machine like this, the capacity of the gas tank is only 2 quarts. Also, it doesn't tell you the horsepower. It's a 208cc engine, overhead valve. Does not tell you the horsepower. You won't find the horsepower anywhere. There is no conversion for horsepower, cc versus horsepower. There's no conversion chart. It's only an estimate. But I'm figuring, well, the old one was 8 horsepower. This has got to be very, very close. It's a little dark on this side here, but it's 26 inches. Then the auger, what do you call this part? But anyways, it's the same height as the old one. It even gives you a clean out stick. Most of the new ones, I guess, come that way, so you don't have to get your hands in there. Not that I ever do anyways. Electric start, similar to the other one, only a smaller starter. Same size tires, because I checked it with the old one. And manual. Matter of fact, it's the only one that Home Depot had. They did not have, and I like this. This protects. I used to get burned on the muffler on the other one, but this one's got a nice muffler shield on it. The thing I don't like about this is there is no gas shutoff and no drain, no way to drain the tank. I called the service department when I registered this, and the gentleman says you take off the nut off the bottom of the carburetor, which I don't know if you can see that from here. I'm going to move the camera, but I can't get in there to see it. But it's a typical, it's an overhead valve engine, and it's a typical little carburetor with the center nut. I'll take the bolt off, and the side nut bolt to drain the carburetor, and it's telling you to drain the gas tank through the carburetor. Well, I don't like doing that, simply because you're draining the entire tank through the needle valve and seat. By doing that, it not only takes forever, but if there's any dirt in there, it's going to be pulled through there. So I went and bought one of these things. At my local hardware store, I picked up one of these pumps. It does gasoline, does kerosene, it does air, comes with the hoses, and it also has a thing to go for your crankcase. You want to pull oil out and change it that way, which I never do anyways. But it's a suction device made for this, so I'll just pull gas out of the tank when then run the snowblower until all the gas is out of it, or take the bolt out, the side bolt out of the side of the carburetor, and drain the rest of the bowl when the season ends for using the snowblower. Yeah, I had no choice. I had to do that. I could have probably ordered another Platter and replaced it, but I didn't want to deal with that. It's 15 years old, and yes, it was kept in the shed, and that's why it looked in such nice condition. But it needed the carburetor rebuilt, and it needed the new Platter, and who knows if the rubber wheel would have come flying off. I made all adjustments exactly according to the book, so I didn't do any messing up and everything. As far as I know, I installed everything correctly. The only reason I think that came off is because probably the Platter was uneven. Nowhere in the book does it mention that, and nowhere on the internet does it mention that the Platter is not uneven, if it's got grooves in it, that you could lose the rubber wheel. And when you shift these things, when you move the gear lever, you always make sure that that handle, the engaging handle, is in the up position, in other words, disengaged. And I've always done that, so that there was no reason why that thing should have come off. Anyways, I gave the old snowblower to the park owner, and he's going to spend probably about $100 on it. It's well worth it, and he'll have himself a good snowblower. As a side note, when I say it's going to cost him about $100 to fix it, that's if he does the entire job himself. And that's just in parts only. That's a guess. From what I've been calling around, it's going to cost several $100s to have that thing fixed if I went and had it professionally done, at least. No use screwing around. Buy new. I'm too damn old to be farting around with these things, so I couldn't afford it. Believe me, it set us, put you in debt, but you got to do it. You got to do it. At my age, I can't be shoveling. You'll find me dead out in the yard somewhere. Alright, thank you for watching. You have a good day, everyone.